Hey crew, just wanted to touch base right here before we start phase two and talk a little bit about what we're going to be entering and what we're looking for. But briefly, I do want to touch on phase one and give you guys a big congratulations. I know we hit a lot of big PRs. We took a lot of time off some of our test week numbers. But with that, I can say as coaches, there is nothing more fun than retest week. We get to see how much fitter we got. We get to see how much stronger we got. But some of you don't necessarily love recording your times or your weights in Tribe, and that's okay. We all have different goals. We all have different reasons for showing up to the gym, but I do want to encourage you this week only, at least for test week, if you're not a recorder, go ahead and put that in. I know coaches are putting a bigger emphasis on getting those times and weights in there, at least for test week, so that way I know we missed out on a bunch of PRs that happened, and we just weren't able to recognize those. So this phase, I will tell you as coaches, we're going to put a bigger emphasis on at least testing numbers. So if you're that person who's trying to get into the routine of recording your things on Tribe, this week's a great week to get that started. So with that being said, let's talk about phase two and what that's going to look like. You're going to see a lot of similarities, so understand that when we say phase two, what are we moving towards? What are we peaking towards? So the Super Bowl of our sport is the CrossFit Open. So that's going to be in the springtime. And so our season kind of starts in fall, and we're going to build with this linear progression towards springtime. So yes, are we staying constantly varied? I hope that you felt like there was still a lot of variety within our workouts. But varied does not mean random. So we are varying things, but we're still building towards something. So on Mondays, we deadlifted, right? So every phase is going to have that high central nervous system lift. So this phase is going to be the squat clean. Now, the cool part is we just spent 7 weeks working on our technique, dialing back our form, and hitting percentages while moving really, really well. So now we're able to transition that into hopefully a big squat clean number. This is my opportunity to remind you that if you do check your ego at the door, every phase is also going to have that technique lift. And instead of saying, oh, what can I grip and rip? What's that big number I can hit? If you take the time to be diligent and hit your positions and move well, there's a really good chance that we're going to transition technique work into a big lift. So we should be moving really well on our squat cleans. So our central nervous system lift this phase is going to be high percentage squat cleans. With that being said, we're going to move into a technique skill, or our technique lift is going to be the 3-position snatch. So we just did a 3-position clean. Now we're going to move into the 3-position snatch. And again, I hope that now we can really understand the importance of listening to our coaches, dialing in, where are our shoulders, where is the bar, are our positions moving well. So reminding ourselves that the 10 domains of fitness don't all get us sweaty, right? So coordination, accuracy, agility, incredibly important in dialing back and make sure we're moving how we want to. We're going to continue our progression of building up that shoulder stability. So last phase we did a lot of strict press. This phase we're going to move into the push press. So now we're just getting our legs involved. And I'll tell you that we're going to do this. We're spending a lot of time building up that shoulder muscle because that's a big area for injury, right? So technically we can use our legs. We can get a lot of weight up overhead, but that doesn't mean that musculature right in there is ready to hold it. So we're going to spend a good chunk of fall making sure shoulders are healthy, making sure shoulders are active, positions are where they need to be, so that way when we are hitting big numbers for our push jerk, our split jerk, that we've got the stability ready to hold those things and look really good while doing it. Other things you're going to notice, the skill this phase is going to be the kettlebell snatch, so working on a nice hip hinge as well as a good punch through. Coaches should be able to help work you through that. And then the way we're going to get those anaerobic tests going is going to be the bike. So if you're someone who hates the bike, unfortunately, there's going to be enough of it that you're not going to be able to hide every single time it shows up. So the bike's going to come into play a lot this phase as we kind of work on our intervals or our skills in that capacity. So phase two, kind of building upon what we had. In phase one, we're still in our foundational stage. We're working on skills. We're working on positions more than anything as we move towards peaking in the spring. If you have any further questions on that, I'm trying to keep this short and sweet for you guys. Post them or ask me directly. I've got a lot more information for you guys. As well as I will tell you that ring muscle ups are going to start to enter the picture. We saw bar muscle ups last phase. We're going to start to see ring muscle ups. Now's a perfect time to talk to a coach. Hey, what can I be working on off to the side? Or if you're one of those people who's right there, maybe you've done a grip and rip and you've got your first one, and that's incredible. Congrats. But how do we turn those into 5 really efficient ones? Grab us for a hour-long personal training session to make sure your positions are good and we're working on these in the right manner. But otherwise, super stoked about phase 2. I'm really stoked to record scores so that we can celebrate all of you here in another 7 weeks, and not just those of you who we can look back and see times. So really looking forward to it. Phase 2, like I said, any other questions, let me know. Looking forward to getting fit with you guys.